We all could learn from different individuals, and that's why you're listening to this podcast. Many of you have picked up on tips from me or from one of my guests. You've applied it, you've seen results, and you keep coming back. This is why you should tell your friends about the show. I went to the Florida State Minority Supplier Development Council conference a few weeks ago, and I met with some amazing entrepreneurs. On this episode, it's going to be different, not necessarily our typical TSE Certified Sales Training Program episode, but I'm taking this interview that I did with Troy at this conference and sharing it with you because I really feel the way that he crafts his message could definitely help you in the way that you're selling. Check it out. This episode is brought to you in part by mailtag.io. It's a Chrome browser extension that notifies you when someone opens your email or clicks on a link. Go ahead and check out a 14-day trial with Mailtag. Simply go to mailtag.io. This episode is also brought to you in part by TSE Certified Sales Training Program, a course designed to help sellers elevate their sales game, find more ideal customers, build stronger value, and close more deals. To check out our upcoming semester or to go ahead and take a free trial, go to thesalesevangelist.com/free course. Again, thesalesevangelist.com/free course. Hey, everyone. Welcome to another great episode of the Sales Evangelist Podcast. I am your host, Donald Kelly, the Sales Evangelist, and I'm so excited for another great episode. I'm so excited to be here with you today. And as I mentioned in the teaser, we got a great guest coming on the show today. His name is Mr. Troy Rackley. And Troy's going to share with us what he's doing, a little bit more about his company, and just listen to his pitch. We do this kind of little role play in the middle of the recording here. And he walks me through what he says. And I feel what can really benefit many of us as sales rep is to hear what other sellers are doing, to hear how they're getting their foot in the door, to getting appointments, and ultimately closing a deal. This guy did it by educating his prospect. And when I say educating, you're like, yeah, Donald, I know we need to do it. But listen to what he says. Listen to how he does it. Now, the audio is a little bit low on my side. We were recording live in person at the Florida State Minority Supplier Development Council. We have a link to them if you guys want to check them out. Great conference, by the way. We were literally recording in the middle of the expo area, right slab dab in the middle. So my audio is a little bit low. Please forgive me about that, but the content is great. Welcome to the show, Troy.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure having you. I want to give a big shout out to the folks over at Florida State Minority Supplier Development Council for organizing this and giving us the opportunity to connect with entrepreneurs like Troy, who are going to tell us his story. But Troy has something that he grabbed my friend Steven Hart's attention. Steven was like, Donald, you got to make sure you interview Troy today. He's a seller at heart, and he's been able to be very successful with this business. But I want to hear about this messaging that you have. You have a killer message. And every salesperson, every entrepreneur listening to this are thinking, how can I have a message that stand out?
Right.
So I want to tell us the message. Let's go through role play with me. What you would say?
Okay. First of all, I'll ask people, and this is on the residential side. Our business operates residential, commercial, agriculture, anywhere water flows, we go. But on the residential side, I always try to ask people, what problem are you having with your water? Okay. And they'll say it tastes bad, or you got chlorine, or it smells, or something like that. And so what I try to do is make sure we customize our solution for that. And the question I always ask them is, do you drink out of the tap? And they say,
I'll say something like, no way.
And I said, well, actually you do.
How?
And they said, well, yeah. And I'll say, well, this isn't personal, but do you take showers?
Of course I do.
Largest organ on our body is our skin. So what happens in a shower, a 15-minute shower, is the equivalent of drinking 8 glasses of water out of the tap. So whatever you're avoiding out of the tap is being absorbed in your body in the shower anyway. So that's something that people really need to take note of, is the tap isn't the only source of the water that's contacting you in your house.
So that's really powerful. And a couple of things that I like about that messaging there when you shared is because you asked a question.
Right.
And you educated me through the questioning process.
Right.
So now it pulled me in,
right.
And the story isn't done yet because you have to finish the story loop. Because now I want to know, how do I fix that?
Right. Well, first and foremost, what we do is we get your water tested, and we always use a third-party test.
Anybody use a third-party test?
Because it's from an integrity standpoint.
Yeah.
If I'm providing the solution I can't also be the one that's telling you what I think the problem is.
Yeah.
I want it. It's just like the fox and managing the hen house. And a lot of water companies will come in and say, well, we tested your water and this is what you need. They could tell you anything. What I'm saying is here's an independent third party. Here's the results. Here's what's bad in your water. So I educate them about these are the things that you don't want in your body, on your body. And we'll design a custom filtration program to make sure all these things that are in there are out. So we call it water man. The municipalities do what they can do to add chemicals and various things to kill bacteria. So while they're adding, what we do is we look at that formula and say, all that stuff they've added, we need to design a system to subtract it right back out so it doesn't get to you.
So, and you started focusing on that messaging the most, right. And then you started to personalize that. And something you were telling me earlier is that most of the big box companies, they just want a one hit wonder. They just want to do one thing and push it in there. But you decided you're going to do it personal.
Right.
How has that been a blessing or helped your business?
Well, basically, the way it's helped my business is that personal attention to detail, because we haven't done any marketing in our business since we've been doing it. It's all been word of mouth. So we've done some great things because we're developing a reputation, and when you take the customer focus to be from customer service to customer success, if we make you more successful in your health and your family's financial, you don't have to buy bottled water, then the service becomes secondary.
Yeah.
So there's a difference between customer success and customer service. We just take it to another level because what we want to make sure is that you're educated going forward, that these are the things that I know my family doesn't have to worry about. For example, our system, if you have a boiled water advisory, you don't have to boil your water with our system.
Yeah.
And we design it that way, it's minimal disruption, because you just never know what's going to happen with the municipality. And what we want to make sure is that there's no disruption to you and your family's lifestyle when it comes to water.
That's amazing, man. Where's your business right now? What kind of success you guys are seeing? How many states you're in, or what's the volume?
Well, actually, we're probably in about 15 states in the U.S. We're in Canada, we're in Amsterdam, we're in Sweden, we're in Australia, because water is a global issue.
Yeah.
And like I said, we go where water flows. And because we're in an industry that water touches everything in life.
Yeah.
And for example, we have a fish farm in Racine, Wisconsin. And
as a client?
No, we own the fish farm.
Own the fish farm.
We own the fish farm. But we put our technology in there. And what we were able to see is best practice was 10 to 12 months in harvest. Because we get the water so clean, the food is more bioavailable for the fish. We're harvesting in 7 months.
No way.
So we're doing something that the industry hasn't even seen yet. So when people talk about disruptive technology, that's what we have. So the reason why we got into the residential side of it is because the consumer needs to be educated.
Yeah.
And the municipalities will say, up until this point, when it leaves our plant, the water's clean.
Yeah.
So now it's on you when it gets to your property to take it under your own to get a filtration system or get something to protect your family. It's not our problem. So they push it off. So we want to help the consumer make an educated decision, but at least understand what you're dealing with.
Yeah.
Because just like the phrase I said, just because it's clear doesn't mean it's clean. And the things that are going to hurt you in water are the things you can't see. Yeah. Nobody will look at that water and say, oh, that's got a virus in it. Oh. Biggest virus out there is norovirus on a cruise ship. And it's coming from the water.
Yeah.
Norovirus can't get through our system. So we've got answers to every water issue out there because we study it and then we design a solution.
That's amazing, man. If folks out there want to get in touch with you, want to connect with you, what's the best way for them to go about connecting with you?
Go to our website, nlpaqua.com, and look at the information. There's a contact form on there. We always ask people to fill it out as best they can. We'll send them a form so we get some basic information so that we get a baseline of what we're dealing with. But then we'll get the water tested and then we'll get it restored. Like I said, we call it water restoration because we restore water back to its original design. And what we say is all these companies that use the different processes of reverse osmosis, stripping all the minerals out and then adding minerals back, for us, there's only one man that made minerals.
Yeah.
And those are the natural minerals that we keep in water. So we want to make sure that people understand what you're buying.
Yeah.
I'm happy if you don't buy from us. I'm happy if you do. But I want you to be educated in your decision. And we've lost some sales to people who say, well, this is cheaper. And we sell on value, not expense.
Love it, man.
Right.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to come on our show.
Thank you.
Troy.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate the Florida State Minority Supply Development Council and their assistance in helping us with this. So thank you so much.
Right. Thank you.
Now, listen, didn't I tell you that stuff was going to be great? I love what Troy was sharing there. I just really love how he pulled me in with that role play, and he asked the question, do I take shower? And obviously it was like it's a fun question to pull people in, and everyone's going to say yes, right? And the way he did it, and just the way he educated me, and how he brought all of this back to how the water can affect me and so forth, it made me want to buy the darn water thing right there. But I want you guys to connect with him, and we have a link back to him in the show notes. You can find his information by going on LinkedIn. Again, go back into the show notes and connect with him. Tell him you heard him on the Sales Evangelist podcast, and he'll be super happy and excited. Also, while you go back to the show notes, make sure to check out mailtag.io. Again, mailtag.io. Take advantage of the 14-day free trial. And when you fall in love with it, use promo code Donald at checkout. Also, check out Florida State Minority Supplier Development Council. Big shout out to my friend Beatrice and all the crew that works to put on this amazing conference and expo and work with the organization. Highly recommend you check them out. We have a link back in the show notes. I share this stuff with you because I want to help you. I want you to find more ideal customers. I want you to meet cool people like Troy and learn from them. I want you to build stronger value. I want you to close more deals. But most importantly, I want you to go out each and every single day and do big things. Hey, I hope you enjoyed the show today as much as I did. And if so, go ahead and leave us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify, or wherever you listen to find podcasts. You know, if you can share it with your friends, your colleague, your coworker, that would be greatly appreciated. Better yet, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe and show them how they can subscribe as well. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate you. Our show today was produced by myself and the Sales Podcast Network. It was edited and mixed together by the one and only Mr. Jershin O'Bale. Our content writer and show note creator is Mr. Shannon Rasmussen. You can find audio credits to this and all of our episodes in the show notes. And as always, I am your host, your coach, your mentor, your guide down the sales journey, Mr. Donald C. Kelly, the Sales Evangelist. Sales Podcast Network.